That microphone is still on. He talked in it a second ago. Now Anna's going. The next piece of terror he causes, I'm going to have to go down there and help out. Hello folks, and welcome to the start of another weekly vlog here on the channel. And because it is a normal week again, we're starting things off the way we normally start off, outside co-op, because it's Monday lunchtime. Anna's just about to finish her shift. I've got to pick her up because then we have an exciting mission ahead of us. Remember when you all said when we changed from weekly vlogs to daily vlogs that the thing you'd really miss is the day-to-day normal family life stuff? Well, if we got some day-to-day normal family life stuff for you today, we think we've got mice in the garage again. Those of you who don't know, the garage also doubles up as my office / studio where I make all my gaming videos, and it's also where the freezer is, where we keep Andy's waffles and fish fingers and things. And while I was away over the weekend at Comic-Con, Anna noticed there were a couple of little bits of mouse droppings by the freezer, probably where little bits of crumbs of fish finger have fallen down there and attracted them in. A combination of that and probably the fact that it's been absolutely pouring with rain for about a week. It's actually quite nice today, but the river was like this close to bursting its banks locally over the weekend, to the point where we thought we might actually have to come home from Birmingham early from Comic-Con just to move stuff upstairs. It got to that level of panic. So I think all of the mice have fled from the river a little bit further inland and then smelt some fish finger crumbs by the freezer and headed that way. So I don't know if we've got mice or if it was just a mouse passing through, but those of you who've been around on the channel for a while will remember the Clive saga. I don't want to go through that again because it didn't go well last time. Oh God, that was the worst thing I've ever had to do. That was I can't do videos anymore. This is going to be the last video that ever appears on YouTube. I can never go in my garage again. So once Anna comes out, we are going to be heading to the factory shop to try and find the most humane, least disgusting way to get rid of mice. I hate this. They've got all the Christmas stuff in here. I want to buy Christmas things, all of the Christmas things. Battery powered remote control candle, for example. But it seems that Son of Clive is going to live for at least another day, because I think they've taken all the mouse killing paraphernalia out to replace it with Christmas paraphernalia. I threw it away with Clive still attached to it. I wasn't going to, you were supposed to open it up and pull the mouse corpse out. I ain't getting involved in that, I just threw the whole thing away. The question is, what's Anna up to? Because it appears like she's selecting some kind of hair dye. I wonder what... Oh, she's seen us! I should be filming all the time, not just sneakily when Anna's buying hair dye, because not long after that she threw her hands in the air and cheered in the middle of Tesco. Why did you do that, Anna?
It's got ethics.
Which means she can now finally, after, what's it been, 6 months of waiting pretty much,
yeah,
she can finally go and do the experiment that she needs to do for her dissertation for uni, which means you actually have a chance of getting it finished on time now, which she was starting to panic a little bit.
Well, no, because if I didn't get it next time, this time...
You're not allowed into the lab until you've got ethics approval, are you?
Yeah, but you kept telling me, you are now. No, you're not. I am not allowed to go in that lab without my ethics.
But now she has it. So she can go in the lab, do the experiment, and then go and become a detective, or whatever it is you're going to do afterwards. I tried to buy a policeman's uniform set thing in there, but apparently they provide them or something. She didn't need it.
I'm not going to be a policewoman.
She's a police person now, I think. You're sexist. It's that time again, folks. This week's Gusto box has arrived. As ever, if you want to get your own and save money off your first box, you can do so using the link that's down in the description below. But we'll just pop this open and have a little look to see what we're going to be having for dinner this week. It's the opposite way round to what it normally is, isn't it? No, it's not. Meat is always that side. Veg and dry goods. So veg there, all the little dry goods things in there. What is that? Dijon mustard. Again, as ever, I don't remember what we've ordered because you order them so far in advance and then you get a pleasant surprise. So we have a mild chicken curry, garlicky chicken Kiev with green beans, 10-minute spicy peanut chicken noodles, and creamy chicken potato topped pie. So 4 things we've not had before. We're mixing things up a little bit. And there we have today's meal, which is this one, the mild chicken curry with sultanas removed from Anna's because she doesn't like them. But yummy. Well, it's Tuesday lunchtime and oh my word, have I had a nightmare. Pretty much since the last time we spoke. See, that says it all. My brain is fried. Football Manager, the full game came out last night, but a little bit too late for me to do any work on it, so I just did a little bit of prep and got myself all ready, had an early night, all that kind of stuff. Last night was actually fine, but I was buzzing around because the Football Manager game had been released, but not actually doing anything constructive. Got up nice and early this morning, came out here, recorded the first episode to my new series. It all looks awesome. Got it all uploaded, ready to schedule for 4 o'clock, only to find out there's a game-breaking bug in the game that's hopefully going to be fixed today or tomorrow, but it means I kind of have to start everything again. And I don't know what to do now because Anna's at work at 3 o'clock, so I can't re-record after that. I don't really want to push the release of the video back a day because YouTube, you know, it is important to be the first big series to start. So at risk of one of the other bigger creators starting their series regardless, I kind of need to start mine regardless, I think. Oh, it's so complicated and it's breaking my mind. I won't bore you with it anymore. Just know that's why I'm not filming much today.
And it's the afternoon.
She's mocking me even in my hour of difficulty.
Oh, you need cheering on. Or you're just moaning.
I am as done as I'm going to get today. Anna's off to work and the kids are home in like 45 minutes. So I've got my first Non-League Legend video out. I've got my FM mobile review out. I'm just going to have a lot to do tomorrow.
I've lost my jacket.
But that's been a stressful day. Playing video games for a living isn't as easy as it looked. It's still pretty easy, but it's not as easy as it looks. And a couple of hours later, and stress is completely gone. Football Manager released a patch.
Here's some information.
my watch has given me information about stress. You can play Goat Simulator soon.
Camera.
Not with your camera, no, we're not recording Goat Simulator, you've already done that.
I will get a camera.
Not today.
Yeah.
But Football Manager released a patch at about 4:30, so luckily Amy is here. So Amy sat with Andy for about an hour and a bit while I went outside, recorded the extra video I needed to record. All sorted, all good. That's coming out at 9 o'clock. I am happy and stress relieved, and the rest of the evening can proceed as normal now. You're still wearing your school clothes?
I am.
And he's not in the best of moods, I don't think. I've just had the email through from school, super late, that he had a little bit of an issue at school today. Because he kept putting something in his mouth and they told him not to. So he took off all his clothes. So, need to keep an eye. If I'd have known that before, I perhaps would have stayed in here. Because, has he been grumpy?
He has been a bit grumpy, yeah.
He's grumpy. Well, it is now Wednesday. And I'm suddenly cheerful and happy. It's the morning after everything, in the end, went to plan. It didn't go smoothly, but it went to plan.
Oh, wait. Why?
And now the rest of the week can proceed as normal. Anna's got something, which Dave, obviously, because it's a box, is all over immediately. Do you want to just explain what you've done here, Anna? Because, firstly, you've bought yourself another advent calendar, haven't you?
Yeah.
So the Amazon Beauty one that you have every year, that I've already bought for you, that wasn't enough.
Why do you have to?
Because I like coffee. So you've gone to Boo Avenue,
Yeah.
which, did you even know they existed before I got your pyjamas from there for Christmas last year?
I thought they were for rich people.
Okay, well it's quite expensive, isn't it? Or is it not?
Not really.
Okay. Good pyjamas, were. I need to shop with your skills. Dave, what are you doing? You're a stupid dog.
I'll be...
But you've ordered yourself an advent calendar. And do you want to just explain to everyone else what you just said to me about why it's packaged in such a manner?
Because I'm extra.
Explain.
It said free gift wrapping.
So you bought something for yourself, and because they offered you free gift wrapping, you've had it gift wrapped.
Yes.
You ridiculous human being. You're as bad as Dave. Show us your advent calendar then.
Do you want to know how much it was?
Go on then.
So, it's 12 days.
What sort of advent calendar? What's in it?
Oh, it's socks.
A socks advent calendar. And
I love a sock.
so it's a 12 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
And how much was this calendar?
Should have been 20. We got it for 12.
That's not too bad at all, is it really? So £1 a pair, basically. Dave, what are you doing?
Right.
Booby holders! Why are they not advent calendars?
Move! Get out! Please move!
You've bought pants as well, lady underwear.
Bars. There you go.
That's much smaller than I was anticipating. How do you fit 12 pairs of socks in there? I forget you have child's feet. So, how are you going to do this? Are you going to start on the 1st of December and do it every day for 12 days?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to do it every other day? Okay. Because we have an epic plan for Vlogmas this year. We've got all the advent calendars under the sun. I've got 2, Anna's got 2, the girls have got 1 each, Andy's got 1. Yes, I know, the parents have got more than the kids. You should be used to that kind of stuff by now. We're evil monsters. Our kids are provided for, but we're giant children.
No, because I've got beauty and then socks. And like it says in here, because a girl can never have enough socks. That is true.
Exactly. Whereas I've got Funko Marvel figures, because I'm a nerd, and a Nespresso coffee one because they offered it when I bought the Nespresso machine. I thought, you know what? That sounds awesome, a different coffee every day. So me and Lucy are already planning our daily beverage as part of Vlogmas because she's got a tea advent calendar. So there's going to be lots of me and Lucy drinking beverages, but we're going back to daily for December for Vlogmas. And in addition to advent calendars and Christmas shenanigans, there's so much cool stuff planned. But yeah, advent calendars is going to be a big part of it again. And Anna's trying on bras over there now.
No.
What, how many bras do you need?
Well,
Goodness me.
They were 12 quid instead of 2018.
She's bought all the bras. Do they have any left? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have an exciting parcel. It is my Google Stadia. I don't actually have the code to be able to use it yet, so it's literally just a controller in a box at the moment, I think. Hold on a sec. So, shiny wrapping has been removed. Let's see what's in the box. A controller. It's a nice controller. It's a heavy controller. And a cable. And that is literally it. Chromecast, cable, controller. Now, just to give some context here, because at the moment they've sent... Oh no, there is one moment before I ran. So I also have an instruction manual, which literally just tells you how to charge a controller, and some stickers. Now, to give this some context, at the moment they haven't sent me my access code, which was supposed to be sent by email at the same time as dispatch, so that I could actually use the service. If you're not sure what Stadia is, it's a cloud-based console where all the processing and the games are played somewhere on the internet, and you can then use Google Chrome's browser to see them and interact with them using a keyboard and mouse, a Chromecast or the controller. By sending me the controller today, they've already sent it a day late. This thing launched yesterday, so I've got it a day late. And without the access code, it's literally just a controller and a charger cable. It's like there's no console. To give you an idea of the scale of this incompetence at the moment, this would be like on PlayStation 5 launch day next year. They send the packages out a day late, and you open the box up and it's just a PlayStation controller and they haven't sent the console yet. That's basically what this is at the moment. It's a pile of junk. Andy's home, and a rather stressful situation has developed as a result of it. Anna spent a lot of the morning sorting out wires in this corner so that he could start playing Goat Simulator on his PS3, which he's had it on for years. He did come home and have a look at it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Are you going to cry? How long did he play it for? Not very long. And then turned it off. Why did he turn it off? He just didn't like it. He's not playing it on the big telly anymore. That's his only choice now. But as part of it, his laptop wires got tangled up in some other wires, and he's been terrorising Anna for about half an hour. He doesn't look it at the moment. He's sat there behaving himself now, but she's been bombarded with requests since she got in. Are you actually crying, or are you pretending to cry? I can't work it out. One moment. And we're sorted. And you need to come and sit with me.
Now.
Yes, we fixed it. There you go, look, I've got my arm around her. I'm showing sympathy and affection.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's just happened. Do you want to explain why you're so upset?
I've hurt my hand.
Okay, so her actually digging through and getting the wire. I didn't know this was going on. I was outside working and came in probably 4 o'clock-ish, so he'd been home about half an hour. I got a message from Anna saying she needed help, so I came in. Yeah, he needed scissors because she needed to cut through a slinky string that had got wrapped around all the cables down there. We didn't have any, so I came in anyway to see what was going on and pretty much walked in on the scene that you saw before, with you practically in tears already, him sat over the other side of the room, and apparently he'd been constantly asking, it was like machine gun asking for stuff since he got in, wasn't it? So he wanted the laptop charger, which had got tangled up. He didn't like the fact that Goat, I think that's a big thing. You spent a lot of time sorting Goat Simulator and he just rejected it immediately. But he's still not getting it back on the big telly. It works fine on there. He needs to just use it on there now.
It's just the fact that he takes over everything.
Yeah, he takes it. It was different when he was playing it for like 20 minutes, but he wants to sit there for 3 or 4 hours playing it, which we've never had a problem with him doing on his PlayStation because he likes it. It keeps him amused. But we're not letting him take over our TV in the middle of the living room with the volume up for hours at a time.
5, isn't it? But it's so loud, that game.
So it's fine, it'll work on there now. He's playing it on his laptop at the moment, which is why we were looking for the laptop cable. But he was just constantly asking for everything, wasn't he? And it was one of those moments where it just all became a little bit overwhelming.
And I've hurt my hand.
And she hurt her hand.
No, yesterday.
Yeah.
And it really...
She trapped her hand in some makeup or something,
no,
so, didn't you?
I was putting the top back on and somehow it splintered and it was in my skin.
Nice.
And then I had to go to work. So it's just... oh...
There you go, this is how we make Anna better. Isn't it? This is what I do. I pat her on the head, then everything is better. You picked me. That's as much sympathy as I could do. Look.
And you feel so uncomfortable.
I don't really know how to handle crying women. I only called her hysterical once throughout the whole thing, which I think is quite good. I did shout at her and send her away and made her go and stand in the other room, didn't I? But, in fairness, that helped, didn't it? You were getting really worked up. I sent you away from it and I had that cable out in like 2 minutes. Because
I've done 90%.
No, but it was also because you were upset and you were just yanking on it at one point. It wasn't, you needed sending away.
Why is black? Why? Like his Nintendo one, instantly find it because it's grey. His iPad one, it's striped, instantly find it. Every other wire is black.
And meanwhile over here, he's playing Goat Simulator on his laptop whilst watching some CBeebies show on his iPad. Just constant sensory overload input.
So he had a good day at school.
He likes it. He had a good day at school, did he? I've not seen the email yet, but
we went shopping, did some cooking, did some good.
He had an iffy day earlier in the week. I think we said he had a bit of a rough day earlier in the week.
You female.
Clearly okay again now. And here comes Amy. Say hello to the vlog, Amy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Ah, second the door. Hello.
Dave's attacking her. Amy arrived in the nick of time. She's just given Anna a hug and now they're looking at girly stuff together. It's exactly the stuff that I can't do, but Amy's now fixing everything. Today's gusto meal then is garlicky chicken Kiev with green beans, and it looks like that. Awesome. And it is now Thursday, and I could happily just lie here for the rest of the day. Andy's going to be home from school in about half an hour. I'm not ill, I'm just... it's been a very, very long week. I've recorded 3 more Football Manager videos again today. Hello Dave, you're right. You can smell my lunch in my beard, can't you? This is a thumbnail, I guess. But yeah, it's just been the busiest week ever. But the really busy part is now over. I've done my Google Stadia review. I did finally get my code through last night by email. So I've been playing around with that this morning, plus doing my normal videos. And extra stuff is now done, so we can get back to some kind of normality as we approach the weekend. I'm still going to be doing 2 videos a day on that channel for a week or 2, but we're over the 3 video a day part, which was hard work. So I guess I need to do a little bit of tidying up now and reassemble the house and start thinking about tomorrow's content. This is one of the reasons why, even if this ends up being the only month we were ever weekly vlogging for, this is why it had to be this month. And I certainly think even if we decide the weekly vlog thing has been a failure and we go back to I mean, we're definitely doing daily in December for Vlogmas, that if we decide to carry on doing daily again after that, I do think every year in November weekly is the way to go with the new game coming out. There's just no way to keep on top of it all otherwise without sacrificing sleep. And sacrificing sleep sounds like a pretty stupid idea. You can, especially this year with it being Anna's final year at uni, you saw yesterday how stressed she is, and it's not ideal. She's got an essay due in on Monday, and obviously there's no way that I could have been less busy this week than I have been. This is, I know if you're not into gaming, you're not into YouTube, it can be hard to understand why I couldn't just make fewer videos, or why I couldn't spread them out a bit more, or why it had to be as intense as it was. But if you saw the graph of how our income is over the course of the year, it is so, I mean, it's not even that, it's literally, you get a spike for November, and then the rest of the year it's casual, it's slowly, gradually going down. And then you get the spike in November again, and that November spike sort of sets the tone for the rest of the year, and earns me like 3 or 4 months worth of money that if I didn't earn it, and it's not like I'm going to go and spend all that money in one go. That's the money that keeps us going through June, July, August, when I'm earning maybe £800 a month off of that channel, which obviously isn't enough for a family of 4, 5 to live on. So yeah, it's been tough on all of us this week, but we're nearly through it now. Nearly. My peace and quiet has ended. Andy's home and has got the iPad blasting out Simpsons theme tunes, Halloween ones.
With Mama.
I see. He still associates the Simpsons with Anna's mum. And also Goat Simulator on the laptop on and off as well. So my head, I just want to sleep now. I need Anna to come home so I can sleep, but at the same time I know when Anna comes home she's going to have to work. We need more hours in the day in weeks like this. Luckily this is the last year we'll both have crunch time at the same time.
Cars, Sandy.
Yeah, what car are you looking at?
Does that see BBC if you mouth?
Oh, I see.
Cars.
Because in sort of April, May time, when she's got crunch time for her dissertation, I'll have relatively little work on, so I'll be able to be much more helpful and supportive then. And obviously next year, when I'm super busy again, she'll have started work by then, so she won't be chasing around doing assignments. So we just have to get through this next few days. We'll be fine. As of right now, I still haven't thought about editing the Comic-Con video that I wanted to get out yesterday. Hopefully you've seen it by now. I just don't have any idea when I'm going to get it done. And don't get me started on his channel.
On Good Simulator.
So far behind, and he's still filming stuff. Today's gusto meal is creamy chicken potato topped pie with garlicky green stuff. Ta-da! And we have made it through to Friday at the end of... She'll be here soon. At the end of the busiest week I think I've ever had. It's been absolutely insane. It's so dark in here because it's already nearly 5 o'clock. Dave's dinner has just come out of his dinner machine, so he's charging into the other room and getting grumpy as he always does whenever he eats. Can you hear him? Always growling and grumbling whenever he eats. It's as if we're going to take the food off him, which I rarely do. But as you can see, Andy's home. Anna will be home shortly. I'm trying to convince Anna that, well, I'm about to try and convince Anna, but I think we probably deserve a takeaway today. We've only got one of our gusto meals left, and we've got Friday and Saturday to eat. So one of these 2 days we've got to do something else. So I'm thinking takeaway today, gusto tomorrow, and then we're off to my dad's on Sunday for dinner. But it's, I know it's probably been a very not much going on vlog this week. Just be glad you weren't getting this as 5 separate episodes that were stretched out to 10-15 minutes each, because it's it really has just been one of those weeks. But I'm now fully up to date with my work. I've got videos sorted through to the end of tomorrow at some point over the weekend, or maybe later on tonight. I just need to do Sundays and then we're done. And that's definitely already relaxed and slowed down a little bit now. Anna has found out that her essay is not due until Friday. She thought it was due on Monday, so she's got a little bit of extra time. She's had it checked by a lecturer today. He says it's good, it's along the right lines, so she's now got a week to polish it rather than 2 days to finish it. So that's positive as well. So we're all feeling pretty good. Just yeah, apologies for the last few days, but fingers crossed everything goes up and gets fun again from here. We've even got Through Andy's Eyes video that's coming out tonight of him playing Goat Simulator on both his PlayStation and his laptop that he recorded last night for me, and it's out today. I don't remember the last time I got one of those out in a 24-hour turnaround, so he's happy as well, ain't you?
Nighttime Andy.
See, delighted. Do you want to explain what you're doing?
No.
So where are we going on Sunday?
Nowhere.
We've just booked tickets to go and see a supportive screening of Frozen 2 on Sunday up in Boston, which is awesome because it means, what is it? They have quieter noise, the lights are up slightly, and kids are allowed to wander around and make noises, and it's just basically a movie screening ideal for Andy. But as soon as we booked it, first thing Anna's done, she's on YouTube learning the songs so she can sing along. What's wrong with you?
You dancing.
Yeah, because they're catchy. But I kind of want to experience them for the first time there.
You wanted to go there and have the hit.
Oh yeah, I want them to play the hit. So I assume they're still going to do Let It Go and Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Otherwise it would be like going and seeing a band and them just playing their new album. Nobody wants that. So hopefully they'll still do the hits. But she's playing me the new stuff to get me ready, and so she can learn the words, so she can sing along.
Something exciting is out today.
We've got to go at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, so it's the only supportive screening they've got, which, to be fair, to have one at all on opening weekend is awesome.
Yeah, because normally they're like every other...
Yeah, they'll be like a month after the movie's
Yeah.
out, so to be able to go at opening weekend is awesome. It's only going to be the third time Andy's been to the cinema. He saw Minions,
Minions with us, yeah.
Toy Story, what was it, 10?
4.
with his respite place. And now we're going back to the same cinema he went to with them to see Frozen, which is going to be cool. But that's a little Sunday morning activity. It does mean I've got to drive to Boston twice over the weekend. I hate driving to Boston, but I'm there tomorrow taking Amy to a hospital appointment. It's podcast o'clock.
I've got to give him bath first.
Podcast o'clock.
And then play some games while I do that.
Podcast o'clock.
Yeah,
no
but-
time for games.
but
We've got to talk about games.
No, because I haven't played any games, but the work I did today was so graphic that they're not allowed to put the slides on. I have to wait a couple of days for everything to be taken out of it.
Sparkle twinkling.
It's Saturday lunchtime, and as you can see, Anna's hard work from earlier in the week has finally paid off.
It's fixing.
It is fixed. It was fixed earlier in the week when you just turned it off and made Mummy cry. But yeah, he's happy watching it now. It took, what's that been, 2 or 3 days for him to believe it was working. So it was Wednesday,
look, it's
Anna sorted
Sparkle.
it, and now he's finally sat there watching his TV again, and is happy. It's
Oh, it's sparkle twinkling.
It's dark in here,
It's
that's why there's a light
pink.
up in my face. Is your telly good?
Yeah, it's fixed, yeah.
It is fixed.
We see it.
Look who's with me. Children. We are on our way to Boston for the first of 2 trips to Boston this weekend. This is the less fun of the 2 trips. Tomorrow's trip to Boston, we replace this one with 2 people who are currently at home, and we're going to go and see Frozen 2, and that's going to be awesome. But this trip is all Amy's fault, isn't it? Yeah. She's got to go for an MRI on her eye. We're not worried about it because it's exactly the same. I went through this exact same thing like 10 years ago. You went to the opticians and they said there's something weird in your eye, didn't they? And then she was referred to a specialist who had another look, and he said, yep, that's definitely something weird in there, and referred her for an MRI, and they've got a little bit panicky. But they did all this with me about 10 years ago, and we call it the Chapman bend, where basically it's in my right eye. Which of yours eye is it?
I don't know. He hasn't actually told me. It's just one of them.
Yeah, but in my right eye, my optic nerve basically bends like that.
Mine's squashed apparently.
Yeah, so I think it's just going to be they're going to have a look and realise, yep, she's got Chapman eye. but they've rushed her in. Well, not rushed her in, but you've got an MRI on a Saturday afternoon, haven't you? Which is a little bit unusual, and it's all the way up in Boston. Yeah, so
it was to check that there's nothing pushing on it apparently. Like, there's nothing inside my face.
These were all the things they said to me way back when. So I think it's just going to be that she's got Chapman eye. Obviously, we'll go and find out though. And I don't know. We don't find out today, do we?
Probably not.
No. I'm going to try and film the screen when they're doing it, so I can have a look, see if it looks like mine did. So you can see the bend in mine. It's awesome. Yeah, but we're on the way, and they want McDonald's apparently, so we'll come to McDonald's on the way, because apparently before you go for an MRI you have to have a McDonald's, which I never got 10 years ago.
No, they said it on the letter, you need to McDonald's.
I haven't seen this letter.
Oh, I left it at home. Oh no.
We're in the hospital waiting room, there's nobody else here, it's like a zombie apocalypse situation. Amy is the other side of that door that we're not allowed to enter, having her MRI done. Lucy wasn't allowed to go in with her, which was the only reason Lucy came.
We rang, they said I could go in.
She can't.
They said if I took all my jewellery out I could, but...
That would have taken till like Tuesday.
Yeah, to be fair. They didn't even let me like watch. I was gonna get my...
Should have flashed your ID, don't you know who I am?
I know, I was about to get on my high horse. I thought, no, you don't even work here. We're in a weird hospital. I can say that because it's not part of my trust.
What's weird about it? The fact that it's deserted and all the lights are off.
Yeah.
It's because it's a Saturday afternoon.
We walked through corridors and all the lights off, and it looked like a zombie was about to come out and kill us.
Hopefully that doesn't happen, but if you never see this video, this could be like in video games where you find like video diaries. You don't play games. Where you find video diaries scattered around places. This will be the last comments of Kev.
No, this is reminds me of like Breaking Bad, you know, you find the video.
Yeah.
My hair's gone all straight.
Yeah, because you were put in a machine.
No, because it was raining. I want to take my coat off.
I'll take your coat off then. We've tried to do this bit several times. We've stopped at Starbucks for coffee, and every time we've stopped, we forgot we were supposed to tell you like how Amy got on. She's now pouring tea all over herself. As you can see, she survived the ordeal. How did you find your MRI? Was it all right?
It's horrible.
Really? What was horrible about it?
They put something over my face, and I felt like I couldn't breathe.
Could you breathe?
Yeah, but I felt like I couldn't.
Okay. And then you had the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it was so loud that it like made me move. And then they'd randomly stop the radio that was playing. They'd be like, okay, you've got this much left now, you're doing great, remember to keep your eyes closed.
Yeah, because she had headphones on, so she couldn't hear the things easily.
It didn't click until like a few seconds after that they'd stopped the radio and they'd said something. So I'd be like, wait, was that them or was that the radio?
Wow.
Confused me.
But you made it through it, you've got your tea. You've got Lucy in the back, she was properly bored when you were in there. She was wandering around bored.
I hadn't even realised I was in there for like half an hour.
Yeah, she was in there ages. As you can see, completely pitch black now. And now we've got the long drive home. And then once we're home, we sleep and then we drive back here again in the morning for the film. Which is a fun reason to come.
It is a fun reason.
So we drive the rest of the way home. Back home, as you can see, TV is still on, but that's not what I wanted to tell you about. And because I've been late home, I mean it's 6:30 now, and I got hungry, cooked myself a little snack of some little mini Yorkshire puddings, and somebody took them and ate them. So his dinner today, it's the first time he's ever had 3 things together. He had fish fingers, waffles, and mini Yorkshire puddings. So fingers crossed. That's a new food to go into the rotation. What would be a huge achievement if we could do this by the end of the year is if he didn't always have exactly the same things every meal. If it started to rotate a little bit, depending on what you fancied. That might be a bit ambitious, but that would be really cool. But yeah, another food added to the bow. And at the moment, it hasn't replaced anything. It'll be interesting to see how it develops over the next few days. I suspect he might drop waffles. He's not been eating all of them lately. But hopefully he won't. Hopefully he'll have all 3. So today's Gusto dinner is this one, the 10-minute spicy peanut noodles. I've substituted out the noodles that came with it for some of these rice noodles because Anna can't have the other ones. But otherwise, that is the delicious looking meal. Well, it is Sunday morning. We are up far earlier than is civilised on a Sunday morning. It's not even 9 o'clock. We're all dressed, showered, ready. Not in that order. We showered and then got dressed. The other way would have been weird. Andy, where are we going? We're going to the cinema to see Frozen 2. Well, we've made it into Boston with plenty of time to spare. The only person who's been to this cinema before out of all of us is Andy. So we're relying on him to navigate us there. And then, I don't know if you can see in the background, there, he's already decided we're going to the stump afterwards as well, which it means she is going to be cutting it fine for time, because later on this afternoon you're going to try on a bridesmaid's dress, aren't you?
Yeah.
So we need to,
And then we're going to Grandad.
yeah, we need him to play the movie on like 1.5 speed. Andy, where are we? Yeah. Well, we've seen the movie. What did we think?
Yep.
Did we like it? I thought it was excellent. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Andy, did you enjoy the film? Good. He sat through the whole thing. He was sat there with his feet up on the chair in front of him and his DS on, but every time oh, he had your phone, did he? I thought it was his DS. Every time they put the Disney castle on, like before and at the end, he would cheer and yell and be excited. But it was a supportive screening. There were other kids in there making lots of noise as well. So everyone was completely fine. It was awesome. We enjoyed the movie. And as soon as we walked out the front of the cinema, he could see the stump. So we're now going there. No, I don't think the bells are working. There's a B&M here. We could have gone to B&M beforehand to get my Mike and Ike. This is our usual Boston B&M. Boston links together, so it's such a fascinating way. Where are we now, Andy? We're at the stump, exactly. You're going to McDonald's afterwards, are you? Double mistake. Mistake number one, we're here on a Sunday again. It's an actual church, they do services in there on a Sunday. Mistake number two, we haven't got his camera with us. We forgot it. So, he's alright, he's just gonna have a wander around. He's got his DS if he really has to film. He's helping himself to something over there. There you go, Amy's on it.
Andy, go put a coin.
That microphone is still on, he talked in it a second ago. Now Anna's going. The next piece of terror he causes, I'm going to have to go down there and help out. So, how are we feeling about Andy grabbing the mic in there and announcing that we were at the stump?
Leave it on.
We could see it coming a mile off, and I just kind of wanted it to happen, which is why I didn't get involved. Oh, that was awesome. Andy, I thought we were going back to the car. The car's the other way.
It's telling yourself it's closed.
Okay.
Because it's not going to ring. I know, baby. I know that. Yeah, at the back of the car.
We are back from the cinema. Anna's still singing the songs. Clearly I'm trying to take my coat off one-armed whilst it's still on the other arm. The plan now, Amy's gone off to have her bridesmaid's dress fitted with Lucy, and I'm going to watch wrestling from last night while Anna and Andy, I don't even know if they'll be in the room.
You're not on this, Sally. You're not.
What? But it's NXT TakeOver War Games!
Get your bananas.
Nice, relaxing afternoon completed. We're about to leave for my dad's, but I just wanted to show you my Christmas jumper t-shirt quickly before we go, because I wore these last year. Loads of people asked about them, and by the time I was asked and could tell you where to get them from, you already couldn't get them there anymore. The link to QWERTY is down in the description below. As of now, they've got like 8 Christmas jumper t-shirt designs available. You can get them as t-shirts, you can get them as sweatshirts. Have a look down in the link below, and I don't think they have the group one anymore, but I've just bought a couple of new ones that I've got for this year. This is one of my last year's ones. They are all awesome, and doing this bit gives me an excuse to wear it in November, and Anna can't shout at me. They're awesome though, you should check them out. So how was dress sampling then?
What?
Didn't you go and try a dress on?
Oh, yeah.
You know, where you've been this afternoon?
I was only there for like half an hour.
Okay.
It was good.
I don't know what trying on bridesmaids' dresses entails.
You try on the dress.
Is it just one dress?
Yeah, because we pretty much settled on it. But we're just making sure that it worked for everyone.
I
But
see.
there's only 3 of us, so make sure it...
My question is, when do I have to go and try on a bridesmaid's dress? Because no one's invited me to do that yet. Is it just assumed I'll look good in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
The amount of time it took to try and set up that shot, and she still walked away. Ah! We're back home from my dad's. Anna's about to go upstairs and give Andy his bath, and I'm trying to get the Switch working with the TV so that I can play some Pokemon while I'm up there. Oh, it's really loud. You might want to turn that down before you go. I love Pokemon Sword, by the way. You should get it if you've got a Switch. But we are going to end the vlog there. If you have enjoyed this week's vlog, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for next week's vlog, and of course Vlogmas is on the way. Only 1 week away now from Vlogmas, where we're back to daily vlogging for a month. Thank you very much for watching.